This is just a detail of one of the most famous books of the dead, and today I'm going to reveal a lot of its secrets. Ciao and welcome back to Exploring Art with Alessandro. This is the second episode of the Ancient Egyptian Art series, and today I want to talk about a mysterious Book of the Dead. I picked a specific scene that is emblematic to understand better the Egyptian culture and their approach to death, the Last Judgement of Hu-Nefer. The Egyptians didn't have real books, but they used papyrus scrolls, and this papyrus is really important because of the good state of preservation and the clear and beautiful hieroglyphics and vignettes drawn and painted. From this book was possible to make interesting discoveries even if a lot of meanings are still unknown. Okay, great, but what is a Book of the Dead? It's an ancient text filled with spells, prayers and incantations to help the dead in the afterlife. Actually, the Egyptians had other names for these texts depending on their types, but we know how much death was important for them to move to a different dimension of their lives. It's a tradition, in fact, that started way back to the Old Kingdom, when the instructions for the afterlife were written inside the pyramids. That's why we call them pyramid texts. In the Middle Kingdom, the inscriptions were over the coffins, so we talk about coffin texts, and then during the New Kingdom, Egyptians started to use scrolls. The communication on scrolls was easier to manage and slightly cheaper compared to the other two options. The one we are looking at today is dated around 1310 BC, and it was found in the tomb of somebody named Hu-Nefer, a scribe. A scribe at that time had a very important role in the society at the same level of priests, and the quality of the papyrus is an evidence of Hu-Nefer's status. It's important to say, in fact, that in the Old Kingdom, texts were originally just for the royal family, and only later they started to be used outside the family, but still for people of high rank. And actually, Hu-Nefer was called Royal Scribe and Scribe of Divine Offerings, titles that indicate he was close to the king. This Book of the Dead was made for Hu-Nefer when he died, and we can see him. He's this guy here, and here, and here. On the top is depicted while he's praying to a line of deities professing the good life he lived and hoping to earn a place in the afterlife. But it's not so easy. Hu-Nefer needs to be judged for his life, and the main scene represents this process. Starting from the left, we can see once again the scribe with the same white robe led by hand by Anubis, the god with the jackal head associated with the dead and mummification and cemeteries. For us it's kind of creepy, but for Egyptians it was really important. Anubis is carrying an axe, a symbol of eternal life, and that's exactly what Hu-Nefer is after. After this first scene, we have a second with Anubis crouched and adjusting a scale. Why? Well, because this is the central moment of the judgment. On the left side of the scale, there is Hu-Nefer's heart represented by a small jar, and on the right, a feather from Mat. Mat, that we can see at the very top of the scale, is the deity associated with the divine order, with living an ethical, ordered life. If the heart is lighter, Hu-Nefer deserves the afterlife. If the heart is heavier, is going to be eaten by Yamit, the evil-looking beast next to Anubis. That was the way how the Egyptians believed to be judged, and Hu-Nefer passed the test. The feather is heavier, and the next deity with the head of an ibis, Thoth, is reporting that the scribe can move to afterlife. Now we can see again Hu-Nefer, this time introduced to Osiris, one of the supreme gods, by his son Horus, this guy here with the falcon's head. In his left hand he is holding the ankh, the ticket for Hu-Nefer's afterlife. Osiris is enthroned in a beautiful and rich enclosure, holding the symbols of Egypt, and he is surrounded by other deities and symbols. Among them we can see two standing female figures behind Osiris, his wife Isis and her sister Nephthys, who is the guardian of afterlife and mother of Anubis. We can see also the famous Eye of Horus, an ancient Egyptian symbol of protection, royal power and good health. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave your comments and check my website and social medias for more content. See you in the next episode. Ciao!